Welcome everybody to another episode of the Crazy Sasquatch football picks and football advice. So we've done all the 32 teams how we think they're going to do this year. We've done the fantasy. Today we're going to do the Crazy Sasquatch's top 10 quarterbacks for this year, 2020, guys. I'm going to do my 10. Brett's going to do his 10. A few have missed the list. I'm basing mine on the players around them.
Performance.
Performance, yeah. So performance, players around them, the team they got around them. Brett, how you basing yours?
Pure skill.
So he's going pure skill. I'm going on. I said who they have around them, make them better. So first, I'll do my 10. Or before I do my top 10, I'm going to do my ones that just missed the list, just missed out of the top 10. And then Brett will do his that just missed out of the top 10, and then we'll go from 10 on up to 1 to our number 1 quarterback. So I have 6 that very well could be top 10 that are just missing. My number 6 that missed the top 10 is Cam Newton. I don't know how well he's going to do on a new team out there in New England. New team, new coach, new everything. So he could have a very good year. For me, being new surroundings, I can't put him in the top 10. Roethlisberger, he has 2 very good wide receivers. Juju Smith-Schuster is very good. He can probably be top 10 wide receiver. Roethlisberger, the reason he's not in my top 10 is because of his injury last year. He missed over half the season. I don't know how he's going to come back this year. I can't put him in the top 10 because of that. Carson Wentz, injury prone a little bit. 2 decent wide receivers, but showing her age a little bit. Just misses the top 10, guys. Yeah, he's got Miles Sanders and the decent running back. He can drop the ball off a receiving running back. They got a good tight end there. He just misses the top 10, guys. Matthew Stafford. Stafford's another one. Got 2 very good wide receivers. To me, it's a division he's in. He's got to play against Green Bay, Minnesota, Bears. That's 6 games out of your 17 or 16. 6 games out of your 16 games you're going to play. Very good defenses. He's not a very mobile quarterback. He's a pocket passer pretty much. You get his defenses rushing him. I just can't get him in the top 10. He could have a very good year. I just can't put him in the top 10. Aaron Rodgers, they did no help with him in the draft this year. They did pick up a wide receiver in free agency in Funchess. He just opted out of the season because of COVID-19. So the one wide receiver they brought in to help just opted out. They brought no rookies in, really, in the draft to help him out. So he's got one, Devontae Adams, one receiver he can rely on. You lost Jimmy Graham, so you're back to, another tight end. Yeah, you got a bunch of younger wide receivers. I don't know if Rodgers trusts them enough. The last couple of years, Rodgers has missed a lot of passes I think he should have made. Maybe in his younger days. I hate to say he's getting old, guys, but he's been missing some passes here and there. He's just right under that top 10 for me. And my last is Tom Brady. Tom Brady, yeah, you're going to a team with 2 good wide receivers, but you're going to a team. It's not your old team. You're going to a different team, learning that playbook, learning that coach. I think he's got some things to overcome. Yeah, he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback, guys, but changing teams, changing this and that. He's going to have a little bit of adjustment period with no preseason. I think that he's just going to fall out of that top 10 for me also, just because of a new team and that. So I'll let Brett go through his guys that missed the top 10. Those are my guys that missed my top 10 list.
So I'm just going to say all mine in a row, then I'm going to explain certain ones. So the ones who just missed on my list are Jimmy Garoppolo, Teddy Bridgewater, Nick Foles, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Dak Prescott. I'm only going to explain a few, but Nick Foles, if you guys go to my channel and see the over or underrated player, I said he's probably the most underrated player in NFL right now, because comparing him to Aaron Rodgers, they both have 1 Super Bowl ring. They both broke their collarbone, and they both did horrible after the broken collarbone injury, after the game they played. And then Aaron Rodgers actually threw double the interception, I think. Then Nick Foles, Aaron Rodgers, considered one of the best. He's not in my top 10. I'm just gonna say that because I sit on this list, but Aaron Rodgers threw double the interceptions of Nick Foles. Aaron Rodgers is considered one of the best people, and he's in their top 10 list. Nick Foles, they're considered one of the worst. He's the bottom 30th quarterbacks. Then getting to Aaron Rodgers, he's missed wide open throws. He doesn't like throwing to rookies. He is one of the best wide receivers, probably a top 5 receiver. I won't call him top 3, but he is a very good number 1 receiver. His whole career, he has Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, and Devontae Adams. And 2 years ago, I think he had Randall Cobb and Devontae Adams. Now he just has Devontae Adams. With those 3 running backs, they're probably one of the best in the past 5 to 10 years, or whenever Aaron Rodgers started playing. Those 3 wide receivers, of course, he's going to have good stats because he has one of the best wide receiving cores. So I'm not putting him in this list. Matt Ryan, he also has probably, in my opinion, second best, not first best. Wide receiver. Probably one of the best running backs. So he can dump the ball off to them. If he gets put on a team which is like average everything, he would still do good, but he just missed my list there. Dak Prescott, people may say he's maybe 9, 10. He was in my top 10, and I found another person, and I booted him out of my top 10 and replaced him with someone else. But those players just barely missed my top 10. I was thinking about maybe Dak could take over my top 10 spot, but we're going to get into our top 10 spots right now. I'm doing it pure skill based of what the quarterbacks are.
Ready for our top 10? Okay. So I'll give you my number 10 right now. It's invisible. You can't see him. No. My top 10 quarterback for the 2020 season, guys. It was a close one between, say, Brady and Rodgers and Stafford. I give it to Matt Ryan. Two veteran wide receivers, a team that he's been playing with for years, wide receivers he knows. I just think, given this year with other quarterbacks switching teams, he's not switched teams. He knows his team. He knows his coach. He knows these 2 wide receivers. I think because of those reasons, I give him my top 10 spot.
My top 10 spot, he is injury prone, but Carson Wentz, I was thinking, is he in the top 10 or Dak Prescott? I think Carson Wentz is actually better than Dak Prescott. Carson Wentz, he's consistently good. Yeah, he's injury prone, but I'm doing pure skill base, not this person's injured most of the time. But every single game I see him play, yeah, he is one of the best tight ends. He has a very good offensive line, and they have tons of running backs. But pure skill base, every single time he throws a ball, it's 75% a good throw. He's just an overall good quarterback, and he's barely fits in my top 10, overpassing Dak Prescott, which Dak Prescott's kind of not consistently good. One game he's good, one game he's bad, like last year's Bears game, but Carson Wentz barely overtakes him for top 10.
Okay, my number 9. Now, a lot of people may disagree with this one. Number 9, guys. Am I spelling it right? Kyler Murray, guys. I know a lot of people will probably put this guy in the top 5 for this year. He got Hopkins coming over from Houston. You know, he's got one of the top wide receivers on his team now. You got Fitzgerald. He's going to be good, guys. I just don't know. You know, without any preseason games, playing with Hopkins, a few factors here. Being only his second year, a lot of times a quarterback can have their sophomore slump, guys. That's what worries me a little bit about Murray. It's his second year. Yes, he should be knowing the team a little bit. You got a few key players coming back, a new player coming back. I just think this year, guys, he's not as high as some people are predicting him. I gave him a top 9. I think there's other quarterbacks out there that are going to have a little better year than Kyler Murray this year. I got him number 9.
And I also have Kyle Murray for my 9th spot. Yeah, he just got probably a top 3 wide receiver from the Houston Texans. But if you watched any games he played, he's a first-round draft pick. Every single game he played, he was super accurate. He's a running quarterback. He runs it when he has to. He throws the ball when he has to. He fits into the top 9. And when I was saying the just missed list, I said Dak Prescott was in my top 10. He was 10th, but then I found another person. This is the person I found, Kyle Murray. It pushed Carson Wentz to 9 to 10, and Dak Prescott to 10 to out of the list. He's just an overall accurate quarterback. He can run, he can pass, and he has a lot to prove this year to see what he would do if he has a top 3 wide receiver. He has, I wouldn't call above average or an average running back. I don't think they got any running backs, but their wide receiving core is not one of the best, but they're very good with Fitzgerald and Hopkins.
Okay, move up to number 8, guys. Number 8, player I had on my fantasy team last year, did well. He hit and miss sometimes, is Josh Allen. They said he muscled up a little bit this year. They also got Stephon Diggs on the team. So you got Brown and Diggs, a couple fast wide receivers. Singletary's running back is a very good receiving quarterback or running back. I see Josh Allen having a very good year this year. He can run as well. He ran a lot of touchdowns in last year. If he can get his interceptions and his miscues down a little bit, which I think he knows what he's got to work on. So Josh Allen, guys, is my top 8. Go ahead.
So for 8, is it with 1 or 2 outs?
2 outs.
So I have Matthew Stafford. He was on his way to getting 36 touchdowns last year if he wasn't injured. I did a video on that on my channel, but he was on his way to an MVP season, almost 36 touchdowns, I think 11 interceptions if I remember right, or 10 interceptions. That's an MVP season. He's overall good. He can run, he can pass, and looking at the wide receiving core and offense around him, yeah, he had probably an average offensive line around him. His wide receivers, he has one good receiver. He used to have Golden Tate, now he has Kenny Galladay. He's always had one good receiver, maybe average to below average everyone else. Now he has a running back, but I'm not doing the team around him, I'm doing pure skill, but he can manage a team even if it's a team with only one good running back and one good wide receiver. In my opinion, they really don't have that many good tight ends. So he can manage a game with a below average team and make them above average or an average team. And this year I have the Lions actually doubling the wins since they have Matthew Stafford. So he fits into my 8th spot.
Okay, my number 7, guys. My number 7 is the only quarterback I have in my top 10 that does not run much. I mean, Matt Ryan, okay, I guess Matt Ryan don't run much. Murray, Allen, some of these other ones I'm going to have are very good running quarterbacks. My next quarterback is the next highest one I have up that does not run a lot, and that is Drew Brees. The reason I like Drew Brees, guys, they got him another weapon this year, a legitimate number 2 wide receiver, almost another number 1, Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders has the speed. He's going to take some of the pressure off of Thomas. Also, you have Kamara. Kamara is a running back that's going to maybe get 800 yards rushing, but 800 yards receiving. He's a very good receiving running back. Cook has I believe Cook is your tight end there. Breeze, I don't know if this year's going to be his last year or not, guys. It could be. I think he's going to go for it all this year. I think he's going to give every effort he can to go all the way. Yes, he's not as mobile as he used to be, or he never really was a running quarterback. Yeah, he can still leap it in for a yard or two, kind of like Brady once in a while does on the goal line. They'll leap it in, quarterback sneak. But with the weapons they got around him right now, a very good offensive line, coming back to a team he knows, adding weapons, I got Breeze as my number 7 right now for the 2020 season.
For my 7, it's going to take a while to write his name, but...
Big Ben.
Well, it's going to take a while.
Big Ben, guys. You said,
okay, so Ben Roethlisberger. So, last year he was injured, but pure skill base, I think he is better than all of these quarterbacks. He can pass the ball, he can run the ball, and in my opinion his best attribute is it takes him like 3 people just to knock him down. He doesn't get sacked easily, he can break through the pocket, he can run over people. That's really all I need to say for number 7. He's probably one of the best quarterbacks, but the 6 people in front of him I think are a little better. But that's really all to say. He's just a big quarterback that can run over people.
All right, number 6, guys. Number 6 for me is... Oops. Make my name a little better. Deshaun Watson, guys. Deshaun Watson, yes, he lost Hopkins. That's going to hurt a little bit. That's what dropped him down a little bit on my list. He lost the number, probably a top 5 wide receiver in the league off his team. Yes, they gained back Brandon Cooks. Cooks is a very good speedster. He's going to take some passes. They also got 2 other very good wide receivers on that team that's coming back. Watson can make things happen. He's a big, strong guy. Can run it. Can throw the deep ball. Can make things happen. Like I said, I have him a little bit higher, I think, on this. If he didn't lose Hopkins, Hopkins kind of made things happen with him. Cooks has got to learn him a little bit. I think he's going to learn Hopkins' routes and timing a little bit. Sorry, guys. I dropped him down a little bit because he lost a weapon. He's going to have a very good year, but I got him as number 6 for this year. I got 5 other quarterbacks I think are going to have a little bit better year than him.
So for 6, I have Tom Brady. Last year he would have way better stats, but his number 1 receiver in Edelman led the league in dropped passes. And I am going to mention the players around them because that impacts them a lot. You can put like a Patrick Mahomes and like the Jets. Yeah, he'll still have big plays, but his stats will go way down with the team around him. With Tom Brady, he's an overall good player. He had 6 Super Bowl rings. He can pass. I don't think he can run that much. He's not a good rushing quarterback, but he's a very good passer. He does throw a lot of interceptions, but he has to force the ball because of his number 1 receiver led the league in drop passes. In total, he's just a very good quarterback overall. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And at Buccaneers, his stats are going to go way up because he actually has a reliable first wide receiver, and he has a team around him, and he actually can make good plays, and he's not going to be held back by his own team.
All right, my next guy, everybody. Next guy on the list is I like Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson. You got Lockett, got DK Metcalf. They got Greg Olsen as a tight end, which I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. You get some other nice tight ends on that. Nice tight ends. Sorry, guys, I kind of went the wrong direction there. Some other very good tight end players on that team. Down to the other on that one. But I think Russell Wilson, between the players he has, his running ability, his ability to make things happen, I have Russell Wilson as a number 5.
For number 5, I have Deshaun Watson. He's just an overall good quarterback. Yeah, he lost his number 1 receiver, but if a quarterback can get kicked in the eye and still throw a touchdown, he deserves to be in the top 5 spot. He is a very good rushing quarterback. He's a very good passing quarterback. Last year in fantasy, he was, in my opinion, he's doing better than Mahomes. I was actually trying to trade Mahomes for Deshaun Watson, and the person who had Deshaun Watson declined the trade, but Deshaun Watson is a very good quarterback. He deserves a top 5 spot. He had one of the best wide receivers, but this year he's going to prove everyone wrong that he's still a good quarterback without a top 3 and running back, and a top 3 wide receiver on his team, that he can still prove to be a top 5 quarterback, and I have him the 5th best. Pure skill based.
I think my next one's going to shock some people. Some people are going to have this guy way down. He didn't have a very good year last year, but when you lose your top wide receiver in Odell Beckham to a abdominal strain, and you're only your 2nd year playing. Mayfield, there was a lot put on Mayfield for his 2nd year, and you lose your weapons around you. I think you can have a surprise player here, guys, this year on your Browns team. I think Baker Mayfield with a healthy Odell Beckham, with some healthy wide receivers, with the running game they got. I think Mayfield's going to have a little bit of a comeback year. I could have probably ranked him down a little bit, guys, but losing to number 1, Wilson's got a couple good wide receivers, but Odell Beckham was a top 5 wide receiver a couple years ago before he had his abdominal injury. I just got a funny feeling that Baker Mayfield is going to have a comeback year with a healthy Odell Beckham. I mean, things got to go right, or he could drop down into here pretty quick, or even further down because of running ability, weapons they got. But I just got a funny feeling about Baker Mayfield this year with a healthy Odell Beckham, if they could make things happen. Everybody thought there was a Super Bowl team last year, and they kind of just imploded. If they can bring it back together, learn what went wrong last year, get everybody back healthy, I think what everybody thought of him 2 years ago coming in as a rookie may very well start transpiring this year.
For number 4, I have Drew Brees. He leads the whole NFL in the history of the NFL in passing yards. He had a 73 completion rating last year. He deserves to be in the top 5. He's just, in my opinion, the most accurate quarterback in the NFL right now. He would probably be in my top 3, if not one of the best, if he had just an average rushing game. If he was maybe, if he was a fast quarterback, if he can run fast, he would probably be my top spot. He's more accurate than every single quarterback in the NFL right now, including Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. He's just an overall good quarterback, except for the rushing game, and that's why I booted him down to 4th instead of in the top 3. If he had a good rushing game, he would definitely be in the top 3.
So I'm going to give you one stat on Mayfield, guys, just to emphasize why I got him up here. Okay, Odell Beckham was hurt most of the year last year. He still threw for 3,800 yards and 22 touchdowns. Yes, he had 21 interceptions. That's what hurt. But when you don't have that number 1 weapon out there to go to, so I see, I can see almost 4,000 yards and the touchdowns going up and the interceptions going down. You compare that to Kyler Murray. He had 3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Same amount of games.
Baker Mayfield had a way better team around him. I wouldn't put Baker Mayfield in my top 15.
Yeah, but you didn't have Odell Beckham.
What's his completion rating compared to Murray's?
59.4 compared to 64. So 5% less completion ratio. But I don't know how many games Odell Beckham missed last year. I just know when you lost your number 1 weapon, you got to make things happen. Being his sophomore year, He just didn't make. I mean, he still almost threw for 4,000 yards, guys. If you get a healthy Odell Beckham, just saying. All right, I just say it's kind of a dark horse pick for me. Number 3. Here's one of the guys I do have in the top 5 that Brett does not.
That's a little high.
Dak Prescott. Okay, Brett's going on talent. I'm going on players around him. I mean, yeah, they lost Jason Witten, but they got pretty good tight ends. Okay, they got a top 5 running back that can catch, Ezekiel Elliott. They have 3 very good quality wide receivers on this team. I think those 3 wide receivers. Yes, one's a rookie. I just think you give any quarterback that is somewhat accurate. Yes, he misses his target sometimes, but you give him 3 quality wide receivers, a quality running back, the ability to run. I think Dak Prescott is going to have a good year. I think he's above Mayfield, above Wilson. This is because of the weapons he has. He's a few more weapons than Wilson. Watson's getting used to his weapons. Yeah, there's a rookie here that's CD's got to come up a little bit and prove himself. But I think by year's end, Dak Prescott's going to be in the top 3, guys.
So you think Dak Prescott's going to have a better year than Russell Wilson?
I think Russell Wilson.
Or Tom Brady?
Yeah, I do.
For not my number 3. Is Russell Wilson. Some people may put him at number 2, but 2 people above him is better than him, a little better than him. He's definitely a top 3 quarterback. He's better than all these quarterbacks that I have. He is. Drew Brees is more accurate, but Russell Wilson is better because his rushing game. Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, I think is a better version of Deshaun Watson. They can both make huge plays. They are very good quarterbacks, both top 5, but I still think Russell Wilson is better. Tom Brady, that rushing game, Roethlisberger, probably rushing game, Stafford, rushing game, Murray. Murray's probably a step behind Watson and Wilson, and then Wentz, the rushing game. So Wilson's up here just because he's better than all these. Maybe one quarterback back here is better at the rushing game, but he's very accurate. He throws a lot of touchdowns, and he doesn't have that many big name receivers, or he doesn't. He did get a very good tight end. He doesn't have big name wide receivers, so he holds up their offense. If it was anyone else out of my top 10 list, I don't think they would be close to, but as good if they had Wilson. But he's in my top 3 just because he is better than all of these in the rushing game and some of these in the passing game.
So number 1 and 2, guys, I'm not sure how Brett's going to do it. Number 1 and 2 are very controversial. I mean, a lot of people have them 1 and 2, back and forth. You can flip these 2 guys around. It's hard to talk about one without mentioning the other, so I'm going to write them both on the board because I got to compare them and give my reasoning why it is just too hard to only write one and not write the other, being that they're so close. So my number 2. So number 2's Lamar Jackson for the Ravens. Number 1 is Mahomes. I said a lot of people have these flip-flopped. They're so close. Jackson may have a few more rushing yards. Mahomes is going to probably have a little more passing yards. I like the receivers better on Kansas City than I do on Baltimore. I mean, Brett's going on simply talent. I'm going on some of the players around him. I think that Mahomes has a little more weapons around him than what Jackson does. Jackson's going to make things happen as well as Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes is magical sometimes the way he does things, guys, and just make things happen. But Jackson, I love his. He throws like a freaking laser beam, guys, when it comes out of his hand. But he can also run it. Mahomes can run, probably not quite as fast, guys. But when he passes it, he can make some of the weirdest passes work, guys. Things you wouldn't do, he can do. I give Mahomes a notch up because he has that playmaking ability of not just running, but making the passes happen, where Jackson's going to be more of the running quarterback. Mahomes is going to be more of the passing because of the weapons he has around him. And so my 1 and 2, my number 1 guys is Mahomes. Jackson's number 2 because of what they have around them.
So for number 2,
Brett Favre. Who the hell? Why you got Brett Favre? No, he's coming back. Brett Favre's making a comeback. No, just kidding. Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. I'm actually gonna do
Jim McMahon.
So comparing those two, Lamar Jackson is a way better rushing quarterback, but in my opinion, he is predictable. He's gonna run 75 to 90% of the plays. You just need like 2 QB spies, and he can't get any yards as rushing. Patrick Mahomes, he's the opposite. He's unpredictable. He can pass. He can look this way and pass that way. He can run. Not as good as Lamar Jackson, but he can still run. He can pass. He's not more accurate than Drew Brees, but he's still a top 3 most accurate quarterback. He doesn't throw that many interceptions. He's a Super Bowl MVP. If Jackson switched up passing and rushing 50-50, I think he can get way more yards, even if it's 40-60. He runs 60% of the time. He's not that much predictable. He hands the ball off and fakes the run, or if he hands the ball off, like he can either keep it or give him to the running back. If he switches those plays up, 40-60, passing 40, rushing 60, if he switches those up, he's not going to be that much predictable. Right now, the only reason Mahomes is above him is because Lamar Jackson is predictable.
And here's our 2 stats. Here's their stats from last year, guys. Mahomes, a little over 4,000 yards passing, only 26 touchdowns, only 216 yards rushing, and two rushing touchdowns. Jackson, a little over 3,000 yards rushing, so about 1,000 yards receiving, passing. Sorry, jeez. So Mahomes has got 1,000 more yards passing, but Jackson had 36 touchdowns thrown, guys. He's gonna throw it more, where Mahomes only had 26 passing touchdowns. So 1,000 yards more passing from Mahomes, but Jackson had 10 more touchdown passes. Here's the big difference. Mahomes had a little over 200 yards, 218 yards rushing. Lamar Jackson, guys, believe this, for a quarterback, 1,200 yards rushing with 7 touchdowns. As a fantasy, if I was a fantasy pick, Jackson would probably be better because of the rushing yards. But as overall talent, Mahomes won the Super Bowl. He's proved it. I said with the weapons around him, they can win. You know, if I was going fantasy league, I'd probably pick Jackson over Mahomes. But as overall, a core-based, very good quarterback, I got Mahomes. So, if you like our picks, if you think we're picking crazy, stupid, I mean, I got a couple wild cards in here, guys. I know Mayfield here and there. Throw in the comments below. Hey, you guys are nuts. You guys are crazy like a Sasquatch. You know. If you like our videos, hit like, subscribe to us, guys. We're going to do running backs in the next day or so. Our top 10 running backs. I mean, that could be a good one, too. I mean, there's going to be some rookie running backs who have good years. Notice we had no rookies up here. It's going to be a tough year for rookie quarterback, guys, being there's no preseason game. So there's no way you can have a top 10 rookie quarterback. And I don't care how good some of these Burrows, some of these guys could be this year. There's no preseason games. Not a lot to get them going for the speed of the NFL. Running backs, that could change. Running back, you know, you could have a rookie running back in the top 10 potentially. So we'll do running backs, our top 10 running backs next. Otherwise, these are our top 10 quarterbacks. Like our channel, subscribe to us. Leave us some comments. What else you'd like us to do, guys, with players or fantasy or whatever. We'll do it all. I said, we just got to go by the seat of our pants. We sit down and wrote these guys down. We didn't even go over them with each other. So, if you like our show, keep coming back. Till next time, guys, this is the Crazy Sasquatch Show. Catch you later.